Hello students, myself Dr. Richa Srivastav, and in this video lecture I am going to discuss the concepts of inverting and non-inverting amplifier. Now first of all, the basic of operational amplifier, because operational amplifier it will be used to implement the inverting and non-inverting amplifier. This is the block diagram of basic op-amp. It has two inputs, one is the positive one and another is the negative one. Now each input it results in either the same or an opposite polarity of the output. Let us say we have applied the signal at the positive terminal, it produces the output that is in phase with the applied signal, and if we apply the input to the negative terminal, then output will be out of phase or of opposite polarity with respect to the input. So these inputs they have the significance, means positive terminal it has its own significance and negative its own significance. Now coming to the AC equivalent of the op-amp circuit, the op-amp circuit it can be replaced by these equivalent circuits, means the block diagram of op-amp it can be replaced by this equivalent. Here we can see that it has the input impedance of Ri, which is very high, and the output it has VO, it will be AD times VD. It means AD is the gain and VD is the voltage that is being applied at the input of the operational amplifier, and RO it is the output impedance, its value is very low. This equivalent it is the practical equivalent of the operational amplifier. The same circuit can be replaced by the ideal equivalent. In ideal equivalent, what will be the difference? The input impedance is very high, that is the Ri it will be replaced by open circuit, and output impedance is very low, it means RO will be replaced by the short circuit. The same can be seen in the equivalent also. Here we can see that this Ri it is replaced by the open circuit, that is Ri is infinite, and the output impedance RO is replaced by the short circuit. So here we can see the RO is 0. So this is the ideal equivalent and this one is the practical equivalent of the op-amp. So whenever we want to solve the op-amp based circuit, the operational amplifier it will be replaced by either the practical circuit or the ideal circuit. It will depend upon the kind of analysis we are doing. If we are doing the practical analysis, we will replace by its practical equivalent, and if we are doing the ideal analysis, it will be replaced by its ideal equivalent. Now coming to the characteristics of ideal op-amp, the operational amplifier ideal one it has some characteristics, that is infinite input impedance, means Zi of this ideal op-amp is infinite, and 0 output impedance it means Zo it will be 0, and 0 common mode gain, or we can say infinite common mode rejection ratio. So common mode gain, why we are saying? Because it has the differential input, and whenever we are using differential input, ideally it is required that the common signal it should be rejected. So that is why the ideal op-amp it has the property of 0 common mode gain. And the infinite open loop gain. What is the meaning of this? Op-amp it is in open loop configuration, it does not have any feedback. So the open loop gain of the op-amp it is ideally infinite, and the bandwidth of the op-amp it is also considered to be infinite of ideal op-amp. Now op-amp, because of its double input, it has different modes of operation. Now one of the mode is single ended operation. Now what is the meaning of this single ended operation? The op-amp, it has two input terminal, means positive and negative. So input, it can be applied either at the positive terminal or at the negative terminal. Let's say the input is applied at only the positive terminal and the second terminal is at ground. So the output, it will be in same phase as that of the input. This is the single ended operation. Now second example of single ended operation, when the positive terminal is at ground and the second terminal we have applied the input. Now since the input is applied at the negative terminal, the output, it is out of phase with the input. So both are single ended operation, but the difference is that here we have applied the input at the positive terminal and the output is in phase with the input. And in second case, we have applied the input at the negative terminal and the output is out of phase with the input. So this is the example of the single ended operation. Another case is the double ended operation. In this case, the input is applied between these two terminals, that is positive and negative. And here also the input is applied between these two positive and negative terminal. This is known as double ended operation, or it is also known as differential operation. Now coming to op-amp based different circuit, first of all we will discuss op-amp based inverting amplifier. This is op-amp based inverting amplifier. Here this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal. The input, it is applied at the negative terminal, that's why it is inverting amplifier, and there is a feedback RF resistance connected between the output and the input, and the positive terminal, it is set to the ground potential. So in order to calculate the voltage gain of this amplifier, that is VO upon V1, we have to calculate this voltage gain. So what is the first step? Apply KCL at this node. So because of the virtual ground concept, the terminal, this positive, it is at ground, so negative, it will also be at ground, means here also there will be the zero potential. So if we apply KCL at this node, we can write down V1 minus 0 by R1, it is equal to 0 minus V0 by RF. So it can be written as V1 by R1 is equal to minus V0 by RF. So V0 by V1, it can be written as minus RF by R1. So this is the expression for the voltage gain. So this is the expression for the voltage gain of the inverting amplifier. Now this amplifier is inverting because the input, it is being applied at the inverting terminal, and the output we get, it is out of phase with the input signal, and the factor of gain is RF by R1. Now there is one numerical problem based on this inverting amplifier. The value of R1, it is given as 100 kilo ohms, and the feedback resistance, it is 500 kilo ohms. So we have to find out the value of the output voltage, means we have to find out VO if V1 is given as 2 volts, V1 is 2 volts. Now since it is the inverting amplifier, so the expression for voltage gain, it will be minus RF by R1, and if we want to calculate VO, we can write this as minus RF by R1 into V1. The value of RF, it is 500 K, and R1 is 100 K, and the value of V1, it is 2 volts. So it will be minus 10 volts. So VO will be minus 10 volt. So we can see that the input it was 2 volts and the output is 10 volt, means we get the amplified version of the input, and the factor by which the signal is amplified is RF by R1. So the value of this RF and R1, they will decide the gain of the inverting amplifier. Now next application of op-amp is non-inverting amplifier. Why it is non-inverting? Here we can see the input, it is applied to the positive terminal, and here the feedback, it is at the negative terminal, but the input it is at the positive terminal, and we have to find out the expression for gain for this amplifier. Now by the concept of virtual ground, if this is at V1 potential, this node will be at V1 potential. So now we can relate the VO and V1 voltage by voltage divider rule. If we apply the voltage divider rule in this loop, we will get V1 will be VO multiplied by R1 divided by R1 plus RF. So VO by V1, it will be R1 plus RF divided by R1. So VO it can be written as 1 plus RF by R1 multiplied by the factor of V1. So this is the expression for the gain of non-inverting amplifier. It will be 1 plus RF by R1. Now why it is known as non-inverting? We have applied input at the non-inverting terminal, and the output we are getting, it is in phase with the input signal. So that's why it is known as non-inverting amplifier. Now we will solve one numerical based on this non-inverting amplifier. The values are given as V1 is 2 volts, RF is 500 kilo ohms, R1 is 100 kilo ohms. So we have to calculate the output voltage for this amplifier. So to solve this problem, we will use the expression for the voltage of non-inverting amplifier, that is VO is equal to 1 plus RF by R1 into V1. So it will be 1 plus value of RF is 500 kilo ohms divided by 100 K multiplied by 2 volts. So it will be 1 plus, it will be cancelled out, 1 plus 5 multiplied by 2, that is 12. So VO will be 12 volts. The input that we have given, it was 2 volt and the output is 12 volt. So we have obtained the amplified output, and the amplification factor is 1 plus RF by R1. So these resistance, they will decide the amount of amplification that the amplifier will provide. Now another application of op-amp is unity follower. Unity follower means whatever input we have given to the op-amp, the output will be same. If we connect the op-amp in this configuration and apply input to the positive terminal, the output will be same as that of the input. Now this is the virtual ground equivalent. If this node is at V1, this node it will also be at V1. So here we have shown the virtual ground equivalent. From this equivalent we can see the output, it will be same as the input, that is VO, it will be equal to V1. So if we connect the op-amp in this configuration, we can get the output same as the input. That's why it is known as unity follower, means whatever input we have given, we will get the same output. Now another application of op-amp is summing amplifier. If we compare this with the inverting amplifier, here the number of inputs, they have been increased from V1 to V1, V2, V3 means we have 3 inputs V1, V2, V3 and the input resistance are R1, R2, R3, RF is the feedback resistance. So, we can see that the output it will be the summation of these input with a certain ratio of the resistances that we will see. Now, this is the virtual ground equivalent. Here these two nodes will be at same potential. So, this will be also at ground potential and if we apply KCL at this node, what will be the condition if we apply KCL? V1 by V1 minus 0 by R1 plus V2 minus 0 by R2 plus V3 minus 0 by R3 is equal to 0 minus V0 by RF. Now, if we solve this, we can get VO by RF minus VO by RF. It will be V1 by R1 plus V2 by R2 plus V3 by R3. So, VO can be written as minus RF and V1 by R1 plus V2 by R2 plus V3 by R3. And in this expression, if we assume R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 is equal to R. So, VO can be written as minus RF by R V1 plus V2 plus V3. If we arrange this equation, we will get as VO is equal to minus RF by R V1 plus V2 plus V3. And if RF is equal to R, so it can be written as VO minus V1 plus V2 plus V3. So, under these conditions, the output of the amplifier, it will be the summation of the input signal, and if we have RF and R with different values, then we will get the summation of input with certain ratio, that is RF by R. So, this is the summing amplifier. Why? Because it is generating the output voltage, which is the summation of these input with certain ratio of RF and this R1, R2 and R3. And since it is inverting, because the inputs they have been applied at the inverting terminal, so we are getting the output out of phase, means with negative sign with respect to the input. Similarly, we can have the summing amplifier with V1, V2 and V3 of different polarities also. So, the corresponding output will also change. So, in this video lecture, we have discussed the basic of operational amplifier and its application as inverting, non-inverting amplifier and as a summing amplifier. Thank you.